Another exclusive interview from Virgin Radio.
So here we are talking to the wonderful PJ Harvey after she played us a couple of songs in the zoo. How are you today?
I'm very well, thanks.
You played us Grow, Grow, Grow and the piano, which you ironically played with the guitar.
Yes, yeah.
Obviously on the record it's played on a piano, as is much of the album. And that's a new instrument for you.
It is, yeah.
How was that? How was that learning a new instrument for an album?
Well, it was wonderful in a way to have to start again from the beginning because when you've been writing songs for quite a long time, like I have, it becomes harder and harder to find new ground or to find a new and inspiring way of saying something. And I'm very aware of trying not to slip into old patterns or styles of songwriting, that I could so easily do what naturally comes to me and write just the same song basically over and over again, I always try and avoid that. So over the years I continually sort of try and move on to instruments I'm unfamiliar with, or put myself in situations that I'm unfamiliar with, or work in a very different lyrical territory or something like that, but I'm always trying to plunge into something that's unfamiliar. So this time I started to write on a piano, and it was coincidental really that somebody was looking for a home for one and gave one to me. Right. And things often happen in that way, and that'll take me off on this whole new writing direction. So yeah, things often just sort of fall into my lap rather than I'm actually sort of pursuing going a certain way.
Obviously, the piano was a big inspiration for the album. Your 2000 album, Stories from the City, Stories from the Sea, was very location-oriented with New York and Dorset. Was there a specific location that inspired White Chalk?
Inside my head location, probably, because I think I wrote it in a myriad of different places, and it was an album that was written kind of on the move wherever I would happen to be. Some of it was written in Dorset, some in LA, some in Paris, some in Bristol. So just wherever I was working at the time. And but the nature of this record, it was much more built upon the fantastical, really, in terms of lyrical content and storytelling, and so in a way it was much more based upon other things other than purely what was surrounding me at the time, but it was what was surrounding everything around me at the time. So it could have been books, photographs, or just looking into old folk songs, which I did a lot of. So yeah, it was wherever my imagination wanted to go, really, rather than the physical space.
Stories in the City, Stories in the Sea was probably your most well-known album to date, probably the most commercial. It won the Mercury Prize in 2001. White Chalk seems as far removed from that as possible. Is that a conscious decision?
Well, yes, it is. Well, my whole mentality, all my artistic life, has been to explore new ground and to challenge myself and throw myself into the unknown as a way of seeing what I'm capable of. That's all that's ever been important to me, even since when I was a teenager at art school, and then I don't know why, it's just always been my own personal goal, and more important in a way than writing a good song that's already been done a million times, either by myself or other people. It's just what's important to me, and so I'm very pleased that this is a world away from a record like the Stories album, and as much as I love any of the albums I've made, I wouldn't want to just make them again.
Sure.
With my boots, I trample it down. Grow, grow, grow.
Which of your albums would you say was the ideal starting point for a brand new PJ Harvey fan?
Well, I would always tend to choose what I feel are my own personal best achievements as a writer, and for me that would be Is This Desire, where I feel that as sort of in anyone's artistic life, whatever field they're in, you kind of go through peaks and troughs of when everything just converges to make a great piece of work. And you can look at it in a more sort of spiritual way, like all the planets were aligned right or whatever, but just the way that synchronicity falls and where you're at in your life and the kind of energy that's going on in you and around you can produce a great piece of work, but it doesn't happen all the time. And I feel that around the time of To Bring You My Love and also Is This Desire were moments of time like that for me, where everything converged, the energy that I had in my writing and in my life, and also just what came to me in terms of people that I met that I then worked with, or instruments that came my way. And that doesn't always happen like that. It's the beauty of life, really, and I think it happens in whatever walk of life you're in, whatever job you're in. At certain times there are wonderful peaks to that working momentum, and those two albums, To Bring My Love and Is This Desire, were moments like that for me where I was very pleased. And I'd go on to say that this album, White Chalk, as well, was a time like that, where I felt that everything I had hoped for with the piece of work happened in one way or another.
Well, it certainly sounds fantastic. You've gone back into the studio recently with John Parrish, is that right? Who you last collaborated on a full album with in 1996.
Yeah.
It's been 12 years.
Yeah.
How's it being back in the studio with him?
Well, of course, he was co-producing on White Chalk, so
Yes,
it feels like, oh, not you again, really.
Yeah, right.
You know? But John's a lifelong friend. I've known him since I was about 16, and he's been a real mentor for me all of my life. Somebody that I trust implicitly, respect, and need, and so to do this sort of follow-up as our collaborative album, it feels timely, really, and I think I was ready to do something very outside of my own field. I mean, I find that collaborative work can be enormously stimulating then to bring back into my own work, and I was feeling like I wanted to branch out and have a taste of meeting somebody else's ideas halfway again, because although John and I work together a lot on my own writing, it's a very different relationship then, because I'm much more in the driving seat of knowing what I want to do, whereas with he and I, it's definitely a 50-50 collaborative work.
Do you have any idea when this album might see the light of day?
We're very much hoping to get it out by September. We've recorded almost 3/4 of it already, and I'm finishing it up at the end of this month. And yes, it's quite a peculiar little record. I'm not sure where it'll fit in anywhere, but we like it.
How about touring? Anytime soon?
Well, I am actually touring all the time at the moment, but I'm doing it in a way that I've never done it before, and in a way that suits me down to the ground, which is I play about one show a month. And I'm playing on my own, because that's really the only way you can make that happen and make it make sense. You know, I can't grab a band from all corners of the earth together every month, and then you'd have to rehearse everybody, and so this is the only way I can feasibly tour in the way that I want to, and I'm loving it. I'm actually loving it, because the thing that had always not felt right to me when I've toured for long periods of time with a band is that so quickly the actual sort of fire and desire to play the music goes, because you're doing the same sort of thing every day and the same music, and it very quickly would drain me of my love of playing those songs, and I just didn't want that to happen, because I I so wanted every show to feel like a special event, not just for me but for the people there, and doing shows in this way has meant that it can be like that, and I can learn new songs and bring them into the set, but also be slightly under rehearsed all the time, and so that it becomes much more about being in the moment, which is the best way to present music, I think.
Well, we hope to see you back in London sometime soon.
Yeah, maybe.
Thank you again for the wonderful session. This is PJ Harvey.
Thank you.
Scratch my palms, there's blood on my hand.
Delve into the Virgin Radio Sessions archive at virginradio.co.uk.